feels good to be back. And we're not going to do the full intro. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to do a mini episode. I apologize for being gone for 2 weeks. I was working on a couple things, and I'll catch you up on that right now. Okay, now that we're all caught up, basically I've been doing a couple projects that had a little bit more pressing deadlines and working with clients, and those always come first. YouTube is just a hobby, but it's something that I definitely want to hold myself accountable to. And I want to make sure that I try and get a video up every single Saturday, and I have bigger plans for the channel. Now, most filmmakers that I've talked to use their experiences and their equipment to make a little bit of an income. And with equipment and software becoming more and more accessible, that's easier to do without being a part of a production company. You don't actually have to work with a company in order to get good equipment and to produce good content for good clients and to find good clients. You've got decent cameras at a good price, lighting equipment getting cheaper, audio equipment you can get. It's thunderstorming right now. Most people that I've talked to that are filmmakers who are also making an income doing video work have pretty much been doing everything themselves. Now, unless you've reached a point where you're doing enough video work to completely supplement all of your income with that, then most likely you have another job. And in my case, I also have a family. And I'm also trying to make my own short films and be creative there, and trying to juggle all of that can be a little daunting and can get very messy if you don't take the proper steps to manage all of that. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. One of the biggest mistakes that I see for most filmmakers who get into video work, and myself included in this one, I have made this mistake before as well, is to take on too many projects at once, or to take on too big of a project that you can't properly manage with everything else you have going on at that moment in your life. So one of the biggest things that I did to help myself from having repeat mistakes like that was to only take on 1 to 2 projects at a time. Every now and then I'll take on a third, but for the most part I stick to that rule, and I make sure that the deadlines are spaced far enough apart that I'm going to be able to sit down and do revisions with my clients and have enough time to finish their project before I finish another person's project and have the same amount of time with them for revisions as well. And without getting too deep into it too, when working with clients, I really try and spend a lot of time up front really honing in on what they're looking for, so revisions are minimal, so I save myself time at the end of the project. It's hailing now, but then the other thing that I did was I scheduled out my time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one night during the weekend, I work on video stuff. The rest of the time, I'm either spending with family or taking a little bit of time to actually relax. I think taking time away from projects is just as important as really diving into a project, because you have outside experiences that are separate from your video work, which for me actually helps with my creativity. I see other people's stuff, I see things out and about, and I get to thinking, and I have good ideas because of that. And that's something that I value a lot, and I want to make sure that I have enough time in between things to not only take a breath and de-stress myself, but also to make sure that I have very clear nights where I'm working and very clear nights where I'm not supposed to be working. Wanting to get further in my career in video and in filmmaking, I need to be smart about how I do it. One of the biggest fears early on when trying to be selective about projects is, what if I miss the project? What if I don't do that project that's going to further my career? And to that I say, just be smart about what you pick. If you really think that project is going to further your career, then do it. But understand the commitments that you're making with it and the time that's going into it, so that you know how to manage the other projects that you take on after it. But I guess as a final note, I would say be selective about what you do. Obviously, the more you do, the more you're gonna learn, the better you're gonna get. But you also don't want to completely burn yourself out, and I see that a lot. And it's something that I've been thinking about for a while with the projects that I've been taking on, and making sure that I don't burn myself out. And I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you guys about that. So this Saturday we'll be going back to our normal stuff. We'll be talking about editing one last time before we move on to a new subject, and then we're gonna start a little vlog month as we get into production on a project that I'm very excited to share with you guys. And also, just like, thank you to everybody. We're almost at 200 subscribers, and it's just mind-blowing to me that when we started this whole project and channel a couple years ago, and as I've been working on the Filmmaker Files just the past 3 or 4 months here, I've gotten really good support and a great response from all of you guys, and it's very humbling to think that people out there actually want to listen to what I have to say. And so thank you. And I do want to do something special for when we hit 200 subscribers. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but I'll keep you posted.